I asked Iris to stand up here with me because she reached out and through her content advocacy along so many who wanted to see this day happen. As mayor, I'm given the privilege to be able to name whatever street I choose. And I consider it carefully when I'm going to name a street. I've always been fond of naming streets and areas in our city after people from our city. I said this at the council meeting, those that were present. I love seeing the big names on buildings in school, whether it's Ellen Ochoa School, Muhammad Ali School, or schools named after presidents. All of that is wonderful, but they're not from Passaic.
Right.
They've had a huge impact. They've had a huge impact and they're worthy to be noted. But there's something special when you can recognize individuals that grew up or had their hearts invested in our community. It does two things. It definitely expresses appreciation for their love and everything that they've done in their commitment to our community. And it plants a seed in the hearts of our children, letting them know you too can grow up and be recognized in the city that you're from. You too can one day get your name on a street or a building, because this is all of our city. And it is our hope that all of our children from every ward and every area feel pride in our community. And with that stated, I was so excited to be able to do this naming and this proclamation for a number of reasons. One, because through his efforts, DJ Webb touched a whole lot of people. Those who loved and knew him, and those who loved and related to his art. You know, I think about this, I think it was Rita Moreno said this. I remember Rita Moreno, West Side Story.
Yeah.
She said, there you go, Puerto Rican. Pedro's like, make sure you clarify that. He don't play. She said, it is through art that we will prevail and endure. It lives on beyond us and defines us as a people. That came to mind because that's so apropos for today, because it is through his art that he continues to live on in the hearts and minds of some and through his relationships. And that's why it's so important. So today, I'll reiterate, I may be doing the naming and the proclamation, but it is because of your love and your support of him and his family that this is made possible. And I mentioned this before, there's something unique about music. It is a special gift because when you can use music to reach people, you can do things far beyond what words can accomplish. So much more than even the most articulate speech given by a politician or the most amazing words by any speaker. Because not even the best speech can unite all people at one time, but you get the right song, you get the right beats, and cats will stand up from every corner of the room, no matter their culture, start bopping their heads, raising their hands, and make their way to the dance floor. And somehow, all our differences fade away, and that love and that spirit rises, and we become a people of harmony, of love, of music, and all of that gets expressed through music, our culture, our heritage, the percussions that defined us as a people. A culture that sometimes is forgotten and not taught in school is preserved through rhythm and beats, which we pass on to the next generation. That's why it's so important. So I ask you guys to share with me as we're gonna read this proclamation. But before I do the official reading, I want to acknowledge dignitaries, colleagues, and those that help run the city. We have with us today our president of the Board of Education, and to make sure I keep Pete happy, and a member of the Puerto Rican community, Danny Rodriguez, representative from Lajas and UPRC. I don't believe we have any other elected officials. We have who I refer to as the ubiquitous Deputy Chief of Police, Louis Gentile, because he is everywhere. Every time I turn around, he is around. He's always present. He's not even on the clock. He said he wanted to show up because he was a supporter. I love that. Iris, is there anyone else we should acknowledge before we move forward?
No, everybody is here, all his friends. Thank you so much for being here and supporting Webb.
And we want to thank Kathy for all her work behind the scenes and especially our DPW. Thank you to our DPW.
Yes. And
For the sign, but mostly for wearing a Mets hat.
That's right.
And I just want to.
Right, Danny?
And I just want to thank his 3 daughters that are here. There's one, but she stayed home because she was not feeling well over this. But I have his 3 daughters here, the oldest daughter.
Beautiful. Can you guys come up with us? We'll share the video. All right. This is an official proclamation on record permanently for the history of the city of Passaic. Whereas Luis Ayala, aka DJ Webb, was born on October 9th, 1969 in Passaic, New Jersey, to Judith Sarah and Heriberto Ayala, both who settled in Passaic from San Jaime, Puerto Rico. Luis is the youngest of 4 children with 2 brothers and 1 sister, and is the father of 4 beautiful daughters, 3 which are present right here. As you can see, all born in Passaic: Abigail, Alexis, Iris, and Gianna, the youngest of which is only now 13 years old, but was 12 when her father sadly passed away of sarcoma, a rare cancer, on July 5th, 2021. Whereas Luis lived at 61 Essex Street near the corner of Market Street for most of his childhood, and there is where his story begins. Like many young boys, Luis was filled with hopes and dreams. One was to become a professional baseball player, as many of his peers from Passaic who were actively involved in the sport from the moment they could hold a bat. Ayala played in the Boricuitas Little League for 9 to 12-year-olds, which was in existence prior to the Roberto Clemente Little League being established. Luis has awards dating back to the 80s as a player and also as a coach, when after aging out, he played on the Passaic Recreation's Babe Ruth League for 13 to 15-year-olds, while simultaneously coaching from the young age of 15 a little league team he put together called the Braves in 1985 as part of the Boricuitas. Whereas Ayala's passion for the sport continued as he matured and moved on to play as part of the Passaic High School baseball team, his destiny, however, was not to go pro when at the birth of his first child, Abigail, Luis chose to abandon that goal and provide for his new family, and I'll add, and take on a greater dream, while helping the neighborhood kids pursue their dreams. Luis, being a baseball phenomenon, playing while coaching from such a young age, still something one rarely finds today, used that drive to positively influence scores of younger players from our city. Whereas the Webster's love for sports went beyond high school and baseball, as later in adulthood, he established his own regulation men's softball team called the Wolfpack, part of the Passaic Recreations team. All right, let's give it a round of applause. Which he coached for 10 years, winning several championships, also including as coach. Luis even captained his own team in a billiards league from 2004 until 2020, and he loved football greatly. A staunch fan of 2 highly controversial teams for a New Jerseyan. Yeah. This one's for Slim. The Dallas Cowboys. And the Boston Red Sox. It says Boston here. All right, I'm gonna make an amendment. All right, that's your cousin.
Cincinnati Reds. He was a Pete Rose
fan. The Cincinnati Reds. I'm reading what they gave, but all right. He fervently defended them further, proving what a strong, independent, loyal, and determined individual he was. And whereas as a leader with entrepreneurial spirit and a great love for music, at 30, Luis decided to open a record store in 1999 out of the storefront on Market Street, which he ran until 2007. It was purposely located close to his home and in downtown so that those around his way could get their music in the neighborhood. I'm gonna repeat that. So that those around his way could get their music in their neighborhood. Without having to make the trek to the main Ave where Record City was located, or NYC, as well as having a local place to hang out. Webb was so dedicated to his baseball teams, though he would close the store if there were a practice or a game scheduled. On his off hours, he would also sell hot dogs and his famous pinchos, or meat on skewers. I see some of y'all had those. From a small food cart during those other baseball games and on Essex and Market Street. Luis would even corral other family members to assist on days he was playing, coaching, or working. Whereas, as DJ Webb in his 30-plus year career, he also worked at different bars, nightclubs, and private parties in Passaic and throughout all the neighboring towns, including birthday parties, weddings, and other special occasions for his hometown friends and their family. He was very popular due to his infectious and irresistible personality and great musical selections that were always the right mix of genres, including classics to newly released songs that always had the crowd coming back for more. Friends supported and went anywhere Webb was spinning, and strangers joined his Webb Zone fans, following him from venue to venue. He was throwing parties since our teens and joined his group, contributing significantly to Passaic's economy those decades by supporting those businesses through money spent by attendees and wherever the venue offered. Places some of us would not have gone to, and places that few knew about if not for Webb throwing an event there. For this critical reason alone, he helped many residents of Passaic remain sane and out of trouble through the pure enjoyment he provided at a Webb Zone event. Now, therefore, I, Hector C. Lora, Mayor of the City of Passaic, along with my colleagues and the city, do hereby, in acknowledgement and recognition and celebration of Louis DJ Webb Ayala, name the corner of Essex Street and Market Street as Louis DJ Ayala for his outstanding service and love to the community of Passaic, that his legacy would never be forgotten and forever be remembered, blessing all of us and honoring his family. Let's count it down, y'all, from 3, 2, 1.